Hey guys, happy November, or as if you're seeing this, it could already be December, honestly, but I'm filming a November reading vlog of all the books I read this November, so I hope you guys like the video. I'm gonna start off with The Empire Storms book by Sarah J Maas. It's her 5th book in the series, if you're not including the prequel. So this is it. It's like 700 pages. Currently on 263 of that, and I'm listening to On Writing by Stephen King, which is really cool, so you'll see me get into that more. And I'm gonna do my book club book, so lots of fun stuff, maybe do some book journal content, and I hope you guys like the video. So something I've been wanting to do for a really long time is get a puzzle board, and I've avoided it because they're a bit pricey. But I've been like wanting to do puzzles and puzzle themed, different season themed puzzles for so long. And I finally just caved and bought this puzzle board. And I'm currently doing this puzzle right here. It's very like November-y. My goal is to do at least one puzzle a month and make it like the theme kind of to go with the month that we're in. So I went to listen to On Writing, the audiobook, and work on this puzzle. And this might not be like the best view, but we'll go with it. I finished On Writing by Stephen King, and I thought it was all right. I did an audiobook and it's actually read by him, which was pretty cool. I thought he had a good voice and he obviously like enunciated everything at the correct time. The book itself was just okay. I really found the parts of him talking about his life very interesting. But when he described how to write and little tips and tricks about writing, I wasn't really into it as much. I thought I would be a writer, and when I was a kid, I used to really like to write. But just hearing everything that goes into the writing, it was honestly kind of boring to listen to, like, not gonna lie. Maybe if you really, really like to write, you would actually find it very helpful and interesting. And it sounded hard, like not fun. He said he writes every single morning, 2,000 words before he gets up and does anything. And he has to go through multiple drafts, and I'd probably give the audiobook like a 3.5 star. It's a little bit harder to rate books when they're not a fiction book for me. I don't know how to give them like the proper rating, but it was just all right. After I finished On Writing, I started reading Pet Sematary by Stephen King, which is our book club book of the month. And it was a very unique experience because it was weird, like listening to an author explain how to write and tips on writing and then read a book by them. It was very unique because of that, and it kind of made it harder for me to really get into the story because instead of thinking about the storyline, I'm thinking about what Stephen King had like given tips on writing and how he was using that, or like he gave a tip in his book not to use a lot of adjectives, but then like in his book when he would use adjectives to describe someone, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's weird, you just said not to do that, like that kind of thing. And then another thing that made the book a little weird for me is that the main character is a doctor and I'm a nurse, so just I know authors obviously try their best, but when they are trying to describe medical terms, and it could have just been different in the 80s and stuff, but it's just like it doesn't line up and make sense to me, and it's like, okay, this isn't how things go, so it kind of gives me a little bit of OCD. But basically the book The Pet Sematary is just about a doctor who just got a new house, and he's now working in a college, and he lives by a pet cemetery with his kids and his wife, and then weird creepy things start happening with some of his patients. Basically is a little synopsis for you on that one. And I also started listening to it on audio, and I really feel like reading is probably better. The audio guy kind of had a weird voice. Now that I've kind of wrapped up all those books, I want to start another book for November before the month ends. And I'm choosing The Only One Left by Riley Sager. It's his newest novel. And I got it signed, or I bought it and it was already signed. So I was like, I have to buy this because I've read, I think maybe 3 books by him, and I've loved them all. The book matches my nails. So I thought it would just be good to end the November reading on a really good book. I'm also, you know, reading my Glass of Thrones series, and I'm on Empire Storms right now, and it's just all right. I'm not obsessed with it either. None of the books I've read this month I've been obsessed with, and I feel like I'm kind of headed toward a reading slump. So I thought picking up a Riley Sager book would be like the perfect book to hopefully like re-spark that reading interest. It says it's an addictive gothic chiller about a young caregiver assigned to work for a woman and accused of a Lizzie Borden, like a massacre decades earlier. I don't understand. I'll be able to give you guys a better synopsis after I read it or while I'm reading it, but this is what I'm going to start. I feel like it's a really good November read, and I'll probably look for another audiobook to listen to. But I hope you guys are liking the vlog so far. I hope it's interesting. I'm still working on my puzzle if you wanted a puzzle update, but I think I'm gonna finish it soon. Onwards to reading.